Hello all, this is Rafe Rowton from unclaimedland.co.uk. We're the premium mapping service for unregistered land in England and Wales. Today I'm going to be showing you our demo map we have of Cambridge City Council region. It's live on our website, it's free to access, you don't need a subscription. You can check out our product, our service, and what you would get if you were a member. This just covers Cambridge City. Obviously, members get maps covering all of England and Wales. As a standard disclaimer, we're a provider of unregistered land maps in England and Wales. Do not take what I say or what is on our website for legal fact. You must talk to a legal professional before you intend to start a claim. We're just a provider of unregistered land maps. We're not legal professionals. So let's have a look at the map. If you head over to unclaimedland.co.uk, that's our website. At the top of the site, at the top of the home page, you should see a green button saying Demo Map. If you just click on it, so that brings us to the Cambridge City Council Unregistered Land map page. You can see there's a lot of polygons which are in filled red. These are all the unregistered land plots in the region, in the council region. If you want to turn off the polygons, just click there. Fairly simple. A useful tool we have, a premium tool, is aerial view, which is very useful when you're looking for abandoned land. Aerial view and Google Street View will be one of your biggest assets. You can search from your desk. And here it is. Here is all the polygons. Of course, you can see a lot of roads are unregistered. It should come as no surprise. You can't register roads. You can't adverse possess roads. They're highways, and highways in general are strictly out of the question. If it's a footpath or a right-of-way, you can claim around the edges. For example, if you had a field with a footpath running through it, you would have to claim around the edges of the footpath. So you might have a 1-2 metre strip going through your field, which you can't claim. The road, obviously, you can claim up to the road. You can't claim the road. You can't claim the public highway. That is an essential element of the law. You can see there's also a lot of other land which is unregistered. Now, another important element of UK law is all land has owners. Unregistered land, unclaimed land, it has an owner. Unregistered land just means that the details of the owner are not held by the land registry. So the land registry most likely don't know who owns the land. There's some cases where they might, but it's unlikely. With registered land, all the details are on file. When you come to claim, the process for unregistered land and registered land is slightly different. So with unregistered land, you have to wait 12 years before you submit an adverse possession claim. With registered land, it is only 10 years, but once you reach the 10-year point to submit the claim, the land registry will send a notice to the owners they have on file, saying that someone is intending to possess your land. Do you wish to challenge them? And I believe they have a 6-month window to challenge, maybe even longer actually. at which point they just have to challenge it, say they're challenging it, and then they get a time period where they have to get you off the land. If they don't, they can challenge it again. It's quite a long process for registered land. The likelihood that it will succeed is much less than unregistered land. So unregistered land, after 12 years, they don't know who the owner is, most likely. They might send a notice to parties they believe would be interested. But the reality is, if your case is strong, you've got a much higher chance of getting that land once the time period is up. I mean, things like the Cambridge University Library. It's unregistered. It obviously isn't abandoned. It's got an owner. You couldn't fence it off, of course. So you need to use the data we have here to look what looks abandoned, and then target that. Abandoned land does tend to be unregistered. The whole registration process is relatively new, and some abandoned land I've seen which has probably been abandoned for many decades. So you want to be targeting those kind of plots. Again, Clare Hall, no, that's not abandoned. The rivers are quite an interesting one. The banks of rivers, the islands, they might be an interesting target. Again, you need to talk to a legal professional. So let's switch to aerial here. Now that's still a road. Of course, Cambridge City is going to be a long shot. You might find abandoned land, abandoned properties. You've got to be very careful with properties, though. Residential properties, it is illegal to squat in them, so you do not want to be doing that. What you want to do, it is possible to possess properties, buildings. Just make sure it isn't residential. And if you intend to do something like that, you really must talk to a lawyer to make sure you're not liable for any criminal cases. So that's very important. Land is much less strict. As you can see, it's a city. It's quite difficult. You quite likely find small abandoned plots between buildings. That's a very good chance. You'd need to have local knowledge to be able to do that, or street view, really. As you can see, our mapping service, it runs on a very fast geo server. So we've got a lot of infrastructure backing up this map. So it is really very fast to load. For such a big data set, it does a very good job. So you're all ready to go on your adverse possession journey with our product. Somewhere like here looks interesting. We scroll down a bit more. I don't know what's happening there, but these plots near motorways are very, very interesting. You quite often get a lot of abandoned land between railway lines, motorways. Obviously, make sure you're not trespassing on motorways or railway lines. But on the other side of the barrier, you do quite often get land which has just been left behind and forgotten about. So these plots look quite interesting. And what you need to make sure you're doing is checking with the local council, do a freedom of information request. If land is owned by the council, the government, by the Crown, by churches as well, and I believe there's probably a few other cases you have to wait 35 years at least. So you don't really want to be targeting those plots of land unless you have a lot of time on your hands. So if these plots here turn out not to be owned by the council, then they might be quite interesting. Before we continue, though, we want to be making sure, yes, they do have paths on. So is that a highway? Is that a public right-of-way? To check for rights-of-way, head over to our sister project, rightsofway.uk. This is a free mapping service we provide, which has, with some exceptions, we're still building it up, but it has most of the regions in England and Wales, and it lists every single public right of way for the regions it covers. London's different. London doesn't have a right of way map, so there is no right of ways to display. That's harder. But as you can see, we cover most of the UK. We're still filling in some gaps. But if we scroll down to Cambridge, and let's see if that plot of land we saw had a public right of way going through it. Right, so it was here. Now, as you can see, yeah, it is a public right of way. Just click. It's a bridle way. So bridle ways, I believe it's 3 meters. And these are average widths. Widths can vary depending on the ground circumstances. It isn't a solid single width. They can be different in each case. There's a bridle way there, and that bridle way goes all the way to Madingley Road. So if we go back to the unclaimed land maps, yeah, as you can see, this one here is effectively following the bridle way, so you wouldn't be able to claim that in all likelihood. No, you wouldn't. So, but we go back to here. This is a bridle way. However, it's a lot wider than the path. You can see the path is there. These sections here, you might be able to launch an adverse possession claim upon. They're quite small, but maybe you're interested. Maybe they're littered, filled area. I don't know, and it may be quite. These are exactly the kind of plots you want to be looking for. You're not going to get any big plot of land with adverse possession, so it is going to be plots like this. So don't discount even small areas. But yes, you wouldn't be able to claim the land which this bridle way passes over. So it would be these regions. And you'd also have to check, is this unregistered land owned by the council, by the crown, by a church? If it is, are you willing to wait the 35 odd years to get it? But as you can see, our mapping product, it lists every single sliver of unregistered land. This was a huge data set to manage. It took us months to calculate. But it means every single sliver of land which is unregistered is on our maps, ready for you to look at. So it is a very, very good, high quality product. Not sure what's going on with the aerial maps there. I'd like to add that is not our aerial maps, it's someone else's. Here maps, I believe. These plots like this here as well. That might be something interesting. But anyway, you get the picture. What our product does, how our service works. I'd say it's a very, very good, solid product, which will save people looking to claim land of adverse possession lots of time. If you like what you see, you've taken a look at our map, we've got a special deal on at the moment. If you want to purchase, head over to the purchase bar on the menu. And our special deal, which won't last long, is £30 a month, full unlimited access to all of our mapping services. If you have any questions, just send us a message using the contact form on our website. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck and look forward to dealing with you in the future.